let's imagine that you are a ventriloquist and you have this dummy sitting on your lap, and you're an expert at this. You're really good at it. You can actually make the dummy talk without moving your lips. You know how that works. But supposing that you were working with your dummy and your dummy just took on a life of its own. It quit. You've got the little controls, I guess, inside of the dummy, and you're moving those with your fingers. And suddenly it doesn't work anymore. And the dummy not only takes on a life of its own, but it has a voice of its own. And it starts talking, literally talking to you. That would make a cool nightmare, maybe make a good scary movie, but real life, that's not going to happen. Hang on a second. Yes, it does. Because you see, the narcissist, this is not you, but the narcissist is the ventriloquist, in a sense, and you are the dummy. Yeah, in fact, you're such a dummy, you don't even know you're a dummy. At least that was the case in my situation. So the narcissist is controlling you. But there came a point in time when I realized, wait a minute, this is not a friendship that I thought it was. And this has happened to me more than once. This is this other person controlling me. He is pulling my strings. He is pulling my levers. He is making me do what he wants to do all the time. Now, maybe you are in a relationship like that right now, or you have been in the past. I'm assuming, otherwise you wouldn't be watching the video. So you know what I'm talking about. There is some significant other in your life, maybe a business partner, maybe a friend at school, friend at work, maybe somebody that you met at church, maybe that love interest, whatever. And you're realizing that person is demanding to control you all the time. Well, what happened if you said, I'm not going to be the dummy anymore? You're not going to pull my strings. You're not going to pull my levers. You're not going to tell me what to say, when to say. You're not going to pack me up, put me in your suitcase when you're done with me. No, I'm not going to do it. What did I say? I said, no, I'm not going to do it. Guess what? That's the word. The one word that narcissists absolutely positively cannot stand, that scares them away every time, is the simple word no. That is because the narcissist is dependent upon control. Because when he controls you, that boosts his ego. He controls others as well. And I say he, it could be a she, but they control others. That gives them a boost of ego, and we call that supply. So the more they control you, the more supply they get. The more that boosts their ego, that gives them that ego high. And what do? They want more of that. So they want more control of you. Then you say no, and the supply is gone. So the way to scare away a narcissist every time is just say no. Just don't go along with it. Now, that sounds kind of simple, right? And actually, if you stop and think about it, it is kind of simple. I was thinking about this as I was putting together my notes, my outline for this presentation. And I was thinking, how many different ways can you say no? You know, you can say no, you can say nope, you can say nah, you can say I don't think so, you can say yet if you're Russian, you can say what's German, nine? I don't know how to say no in Chinese, Mandarin, but there's different languages, always different ways, many different ways you can say no. But there's also ways that you can say no without actually saying the word no. Let's take a look at those. I just jotted some of them down. There's probably more than I've got, but I came up with 5 ways to say no to a narcissist. Number 1 is just don't return his or her messages. That's saying no. So, by the way, I'm not very good at returning messages, phone calls, text messages, email. So if you send me an email or text message and I don't return your message, I'm not insinuating you're a narcissist. I'm just saying I'm not very good at returning messages. But they hate that because they're in control. They contact you, they demand an answer, and the sooner the better. They want an answer right here, right now. So if you see, you got your caller ID, they're calling you on your cell phone, whatever, just don't answer, don't pick up. They send you a text message, don't reply to it. They send you an email, don't reply to it. And again, I got to emphasize, if I did not return your text messages or your email or whatever, that doesn't mean I'm mad at you or that I think you're a narcissist. It just means I'm not very good at doing those things. But that is a good way of telling the narcissist that you are not being controlled. So let's go back to our illustration of a ventriloquist. And he's got this dummy sitting on his lap, and the ventriloquist pulls that lever to make the dummy move his mouth, It's kind of like sending you a text message because you need to text him back or her back. and you pull the lever on the dummy and nothing happens. His mouth doesn't move. That's a problem. But when you realize, the dummy isn't a dummy anymore, it's a live person, and it's not a broken thing. It just doesn't want to move its mouth. When you say move your mouth. Effectively, that's what's happening when you're refusing to return messages. No, narcissists hate that. And if you keep saying no to a narcissist, they're going to lose their supply. They have no more need for you. Now, I got to say this since it comes to my mind. The narcissist loves to use the word no. He just doesn't want to hear it. She just doesn't want to hear it. She tells you, or he tells you, no all the time. But you don't tell the narcissist no, because no is a control word. No is the word that controls you, but it's not going to be used to control the narcissist. Well, yeah, actually it is, because now it's reverse. Now the dummy is the ventriloquist, and the ventriloquist is the dummy. So now you, the abused of the narcissist, you are taking on his role of the controller, and he or she, the narcissist, is being controlled. You got things backwards. That's the way it should be. Now, by the way, I got to say this, since it comes to mind. You don't treat everyone like this. The only person you do this to is a narcissist. Some people, they just like to say no, so they can be in control. That's a narcissist. So if you know someone like that, maybe not a narcissist, but somebody with narcissistic leanings or narcissistic traits. Another way to say no, number 2, is just to disagree with their demands. So the narcissist says, we're going to go here, or we're going to do this, or we need to be there at this time on that day. And you say, nope, I'm busy. No, I don't want to go there. No, I don't think so. No, let's stop and think about this. By the way, did you consult me before you made that decision? There's all kinds of ways of saying no. So another way to say no is just disagree with their demands. You very seldom hear a narcissist make requests or ask. That's one of the signs, indicators that you're dealing with a narcissist is, they don't ask. People ask them. They don't ask others. Number 3 is refuse to loan them money or borrow your stuff, come to think of it. Now, when I go back and I think of the narcissists who have invaded my life, what if I had said no to these people from the very beginning? Well, I wouldn't have done that because I didn't know they were narcissists. I don't want to say no to just everybody because not everyone is a narcissist. In fact, we talked about this in the video yesterday. About 1/2 to 1% of the population is considered to be truly full-blown narcissist. So that means 99% are not narcissists. So you don't want to refuse a loan to everybody, particularly if it's your immediate family, unless your immediate family or you have a narcissist in your immediate family. And I know a lot of you do because I read your messages. I read your comments in the comment section. So that could be a problem. And if so, the correct response is, no, I'm not going to loan you money. And what I was saying is if I had done that from the very beginning, I would have saved myself a lot of problems, a lot of challenges, a lot of difficulties, because the first thing a narcissist seems to do is, during the love bombing stage, and they kind of integrate this in the love bombing stage, is once they really sense they've got your confidence, that they've got you caught in their trap, they start asking favors of you. And some of these people, they ask you for, they may call it a business deal, I'll pay you back, maybe pay you some interest, but they never do. What if I had said no to all these people from the very onset? I would have not had a problem. Of course, I couldn't do that, as I said earlier, because I didn't know they were narcissists. So I would have said yes, thinking, just like I say yes to everybody. But number 3 is refuse to loan them money or anything else. That takes us to number 4, and that is to refuse to do them favors. Now, I had a narcissist who, this guy just nuts. He didn't have a driver's license because he had, according to him, his story was he had this problem with the government, and he was staying outside the influence of the government because he had these conspiracy theories. Well, yeah, he had a problem with the government. They took away his driver's license. Apparently, he didn't show up in court, or he had some problem where he didn't do what the judge told him to do, so took away his driver's license. That's not what he told people. But the point is, he needed a ride. The guy basically walked everywhere, or he bummed a ride, or he would borrow a car illegally. You know, he'd drive the car without a driver's license, and the owner of the car probably didn't even know it. How do I know that? Well, because, you know, I check public records and I see his name pop up every so often because he's been pulled over for driving without a license. You know, he needs a favor. Yeah, would you take me here? You know, I can't believe the places that I've taken people. And if you know someone who is driving a borrowed car all the time, you might ask yourself why that is. Could be someone, they're just having a tough time in life, having some financial problems, so they can't get their car repaired or they can't afford a car. That's okay. I understand that. I can't think that I've ever been there before, but I was really, really close to where, you know, my car would barely run. And sometimes it would run fine, just couldn't get it to stop. You know, the brakes were shot. But, yeah, that doesn't mean they're a narcissist. But if you have someone and that is their life, you know, someone who's middle-aged and they've always been in that situation where they just can't seem to have their own car or their own place to live, you know, they need a favor, just need to stay with you. If you don't mind, I'll stay out of your way in your spare room or your basement. Had a guy live in my office for 3 months. Why? Well, because I'm stupid, you know, because I just fell for a scam. But don't do them favors. Say no. Another way you can say no is tell them that they are wrong. Now be careful. Don't tell them they're wrong if they're not wrong because, well, you're lying. You don't want to do that. But if someone is wrong, and this someone happens to be a narcissist, say, nah, that's a bad idea. I don't want to do that. You're wrong. That's a way to say no. Narcissists hate that. And if they hear no from you over and over and over again, eventually they're going to realize that you are not good supply. In fact, you are negative supply. Not only are you not inflating their ego, you are, what is the opposite of, be deflating, I guess. You're sucking the air out of their ego. You're reducing their self-esteem. You're making them feel very, very small. They're going to get away from you. And you know, when the narcissist gets mad at you, he's going to start a smear campaign. But, you know, you can't change that. It's already there. So, what is the word that narcissists hate to hear? It's the word no. Well, what is the word that narcissists love to say? They love to hear themselves say it, and it's the word no. That tells you this is a narcissist. 2 rectangles on the screen. Click on one of those. Let's keep on talking. But if you don't have time, you're busy, okay, we'll see you next time. Thanks for stopping by, rather, and take care.